Welcome to Real Estate Leadership. I'm Travis Hitt.
And I'm Turner Cavender.
And today we're going to talk about buying an area, not just your home.
Let's listen to it.
Let's get it.
Welcome to the show. We are here to talk about real estate leadership. And today we're talking about buying an area and not just a home. What do we mean by that?
Well, Bob. No, great topic, because a lot of this goes with relocations. And we want to speak to buyers. We want to speak to agents on this. I always like to explain to my client that you're buying an area. You're not just buying a home. Mm-hmm. And what we mean by that is you can find the perfect house that meets all your needs, but I don't want to get a phone call in 6 months saying, Travis, I hate this area. I want to sell. Now, I'll take you up on it and I will sell it and get you another one.
Yeah, of course.
A good agent wants to build a relationship with people, and we want you to be happy with your home and happy with the decision you make and happy with the area you're in.
100%.
So it comes with a lot of process to do that. So when it comes to buying an area, I work with a lot of out-of-state clients, and we have a lot of people moving here from New York, Chicago, California, all relocating to Texas. And so I don't always just ask people what they want in a home, and they're kind of taken back. I ask them, what do you do on your daily life? How far are you from your job right now? What do you, by yourself, or you and your husband, you and your wife, what do you like to do when you're not working?
Yeah.
Because my goal is to find them the home of their dreams, but also find an area they're going to enjoy living in.
Yeah, their hobbies or their daily activities, where you have kids or schools or something like that. You know, I have a potential buyer that's going to be moving to Dallas from Katy, Texas. He's a pilot, getting relocated here. Actually, with it's going to be flying for my wife's plane on her job, and so we had a talk over the phone. And this is funny that we're talking about this now because it literally happened just probably last week. He has a ton of real estate friends, as everybody does, right? But he was taken back when I asked him this. I was like, all right, we'll slow down a little bit. Let's not talk about houses. Let's talk about where you want to live. How old are you? What do you like to do? Where do you go? And Katy, Texas, he drives all the way downtown Houston. You know where Katy is?
Yeah.
That's far away. He goes all the way down there to... He was born and raised in Katy, but he's lived there his whole life, and he's a pilot, and he drives all the way down there to hang out with his buddies. I'm like, all right, so, I used to live in an area called Uptown in Dallas, and now I live I live about 25 minutes away from it now, and I love where I am because I'm still close enough, but still far enough away from the hustle and bustle, and, I live on the lake. I love the water. It's just who I am as a person. I'm a water boy, and I told the same thing to him. I was like, listen, dude, let's not get all crazy about finding a home somewhere around Dallas. Maybe come up to Dallas and I'll show you around the areas, restaurants, bars. You're young. He's younger. He's my age.
Okay.
Right. And he's not married, so he's single and ready to mingle. Right. And he doesn't want to live way out in the suburbs. And, he wants
Familyville.
to have some fun. Yeah, Familyville. He wants to have some fun and be more convenient to things. So. It's like marrying the area as well as the home. You've got to really understand what you like to do. How much commute do you want to have in your day? Right? I know you can go on with this. I mean, we just had a buyer from Chicago. Chicago. A couple weekends ago, come down to. We got a house under contract, but I took his. Expertise. He's a good leader, and I ran with it, and I should take him to some cool downtown areas. It was downtown Old McKinney, and then took him to some restaurants and showed him a lot of different areas. It was a full day thing, and he's like, "Oh man, I love this area. I don't like that area. It reminds me of this." It was a full experience because if you're an outstate buyer and you don't really know what's around, right? You don't know the commercial business, restaurants, things you can do, activities, movies.
Absolutely.
You want to drive 30 minutes to go to a movie or a restaurant, right?
Not me.
Yeah. So
we work with a lot of out-of-town buyers and a lot of out-of-state buyers, and what I find is when I take that initial call, those buyers are setting their expectations here based off of where they live. And a lot of times you can't and should not do that because we're not California. We're not New York. So a lot of the things buyers go through on a day-to-day basis there, they're not going to deal with it here.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of people from California, and if you're from California, you understand this. They tell me, hey, I want to be maximum 45 minutes away from my job. And then I'll ask them, well, how far do you live away from your workplace right now? And they'll tell me 10 to 15 miles or 6 miles, and they drive an hour a day. You don't have to really worry about that here yet.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
But I explained to them, okay, if you're okay with driving 45 minutes, let me explain to you how much driving that's going to be compared to you have less driving now, but more time. Mm-hmm. So 45 minutes there, just because you're okay with it, you may not need to be 45 minutes here. And they appreciate me asking those questions. So what I like to do with all of my clients that come in town, if they have never been here or they've never explored, flying in and having dinner one night doesn't count, is I'll tell them to plan 2 days to spend with me. Mm-hmm. I'll pick them up at their hotel or wherever they're staying, grab coffee, and I will plan 1 or 2 houses in certain subdivisions or cities within the criteria they're looking for. Even if there's 10 homes available, that first day I like to plan a couple different houses in different areas so I can show them the general area. And we'll do lunch that day in a specific place. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of use the first day to help guide the second day. Because people tell me all the time, hey, Trev, I want a 4-bed, 3-bath house, 3,000 to 4,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Great. Until I step inside of a home with that buyer, it doesn't really give me a good understanding of what they truly want. So I use that first day to figure it out, because I may show them the perfect house, but they don't vibe with the area of where that house is or that city or construction that's coming. But they may love an area they never would have known of because we drove around and I showed it to them.
Yeah.
Then we'll go back that second day and I'll pinpoint certain homes in that area they've chosen and we'll find the perfect home.
Yeah, so this information we're putting out today is one for the consumer that's wanting to move to Texas, or whether you're just found us on the internet and you're moving around in California or New York, whatever, Alabama, whatever, right? This is also for the real estate agent out there this is ways of working with out-of-state buyers or anyone that's not from the city, right?
Yeah.
They could be moving from Austin to Dallas, right? And you want to show them the different cities, because I feel like there's a ton of different worlds that are, I call them worlds because they're different little cities. Like just in Dallas, there's Uptown, there's Lower Greenville, there's Deep Ellum, there's downtown. It's like a whole bunch of different worlds. And like the nightlife is different every single spot too. So like those are experiences you want to let them, one, come during the day, you can take them on tours, and then tell them like go out to dinner here, or scope out the drive-through in the evening time so you can kind of see what the vibe is in that area.
Yeah, and one thing about Texas, so what I explained to other people is because there's a lot of states out there to where you have one major city, and then you have to drive 45 minutes to go to another major city that has walkable areas. When I say walkable areas, I mean restaurants, shopping, coffee shops. The cool thing about Texas is everybody thinks they want to live in Dallas.
Yeah.
Well, what they don't understand is you plant yourself in Dallas, within 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, you go to another city that offers other walkable areas. So a lot of people don't understand you don't have to drive 45 minutes here to get to another major city, but you don't know what you don't know. So I always like to explain this to my buyers. So this is good for 2 reasons. Like Turner said, we're talking to agents here because we want to put our expertise, our knowledge, our failures out to you to learn, but we want people to be able to service their clients the best way possible. And then secondly, if you're a buyer, like you said, whether you're moving to Texas or you're moving to Wisconsin, you should have a better understanding and questions to ask the person you're putting your trust into that's going to be helping you find your new home.
Yeah, and this is the best way to be most efficient with your time especially when you're traveling from a different city to one, because when you're looking at homes, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah,
you gotta drive to it. Your agent's got to search for it. There's a lot of work that goes on before showings. There's a lot of things that go on. So being the most efficient with your time is extremely important. So I had a huge compliment from our last buyer from Chicago.
Yeah.
And we sat down on lunch, and I always do this with all my clients and everything. And I said, while we're at lunch, and I said, I would like to know if there is anything that I could do or do better for you for your experience with me. Could you give me any pointers, or you're happy with it? And he literally broke down, and apparently our best buds from Chicago, so I really like how blunt he was. He's like, you were over-prepared. You had it every single house with a time limit on it. You had the time on it, the distance between, and I thought we were going to be doing 3 days of showing. You got everything done in one day. Yeah. Which gave us more time to look and explore the different cities and areas and suburbs and stuff. And so that right there, you should take with you and over-prepare when you're showing some out-of-state buyers. I'm talking to the agent here. And for the consumer, you should expect that from your agent.
Yeah, 100%.
You should 100% expect all of those things I said. And if you don't get it, ask them to do it.
Yeah.
Because they can only grow better. I'm not talking trash about anyone. These agents can learn from you because you watched this video.
Absolutely. Because realtors, our job is not just to find people their homes. Mm-hmm. And I don't think a lot of people understand that, because a lot of times they only ask real estate questions. They think they do, but then once we get to know a client, they're asking us all sorts of stuff. Where do we buy our furniture?
Yeah.
How much should I pay for this? Where do I go eat? We're a full service stop for a lot of people. So I think it's very important that the consumer knows what a realtor should do, and agents understand a better process of how to service a client correctly. And helping a buyer locate the perfect area, to me, is just as important as helping a buyer locate the perfect home.
That's right. Do you think we nailed it on the head?
I think so. Okay. What do y'all think?
I mean, this is great. Give us some feedback on what you think. I think that these are all the steps you need to, in criteria and steps you need to do to make sure you're being most efficient in your time, whether you're servicing your client or the consumer needs to ask their real estate agent. When buying a home from out of state or another city, if you'd like to move to Texas and you'd love to work with some characters like us,
we're here to help.
We would be honored to. All you got to do is just reach out to us in every single shape and form we have out there for you to reach out to us. When you're thinking about real estate, think about real estate leadership. Thank you.
Have a great day.